Hey, it's Glenn Ackerman, Energy Awareness Training. Today, I want to talk to you about something that we've been getting a lot of requests for and questions about, asking me about a concept called overthinking. Overthinking. What do you do when you're overthinking? Let's talk about that today. I've got a lot to share with you about this. Overthinking. Well, I wouldn't particularly call it that, even though it may seem that way. When somebody says they're overthinking, that means they're in thought overload. It's too much, and it's like this thought process, this thought power overwhelms you to the point where it disturbs you and where it pulls you into feelings and emotions of anxiety or stress or worry. And we all experience that, and we all wonder, what can we do about it? Interesting that growing up, no one ever taught us about thought. You know, that in fact, we're supposed to be thinking about, hey, think about this, hey, think about that. Well, let me think it over, right? Or let me think this thing through. So we're basically taught growing up to use thinking as a means of figuring something out or coming to a conclusion. And that works a lot of times, but there's also another kind of thinking. There's another kind of thinking, and that's thinking about things you don't want to think about, or having thoughts, ideas, suggestions in your head that are negative.
You're tearing me apart!
That are the exact opposite of what you want. When I was growing up, I had lots of these thoughts. And I remember in high school, I had the voice inside me, going to a new school and the voice inside me was going, nobody likes you, or you don't fit in, or you're gonna be alone here, you're not gonna have any friends. I mean, that's my first day of school, and I have this voice in my head harassing me. What's that about? Why is it yakking at me in a voice or in the thoughts in that voice that's trying to disturb me, that's trying to disrupt me? I never understood that. But I thought that since I had that thought, it must be true, right? I had a thought, I'm thinking about this, it must be true. Well, these thoughts, the thought process, which is of course a vital necessity in living, has different aspects to it. And we want to talk about that today in this video. In fact, this is going to be a two-part video because there's a lot on this topic. In fact, this is one of the first topics we address in energy awareness training in the courses that I teach. Specifically about this, the first thing we're dealing with is thought, because thoughts are energy. Thoughts are things, thoughts are units of energy. What do I mean by that? Well, if I have a thought that says, oh, did I leave the stove on? Or did I lock the front door? Right? Or, man, this person's late, where are they? We're gonna be late to the concert. You notice these thoughts bring on a reaction. They bring on energy, and distressing thoughts bring on distressing energy. Worrisome thoughts bring on worrisome energy. Now we have about 50,000 thoughts, give or take, going through our head every single day. That's a lot of thinking. It's a lot of thoughts. And if you just stay here and I don't say anything for about 30 seconds, the thoughts are going to go, what's he doing? Where's this leading? What's this all about? Thought. And it's the thoughts that cause us our anxiety, our fear, our worry. It's the thoughts that destabilize us. And a turning point in your life, just like it was in mine, came when I recognized what thoughts are, the different types of thoughts there are, and to recognize that I am not my thoughts. You're not your thoughts. You have thoughts, but you're not the thoughts. So when you have crazy thoughts in your head, and we all do, some thoughts, want the best for us. If you've watched any of my videos, you've heard me talk about energy awareness training and the different energies there are. Well, that's going to be important in our discussion today, to recognize that there are energies that are influencing us internally and externally. And there are a lot of energies that are pulling us one way, pulling us in another way. There are parts of us that want to succeed, want to be wealthy, want to be happy, want to achieve our goals. And there are other energies that want to block that want to sabotage that want to get in the way of that. Because if those thoughts or energies weren't there, we'd have everything we want, wouldn't we? We'd have the goals, we'd have the dreams, we'd have the things that we want. But we notice in this world that there's an energetic law that I teach, which is we're all living under the law of duality, or the law of polarity. This is really important, especially when it comes to thinking. So, energies: high vibration energy, low vibration energy. Those are the headlines. Those are the headline, the top energies, and underneath those energies are hundreds of subcategories of energies. But in essence, the high vibration energies want what's best for us. They give us thoughts of, hey, why don't I improve myself today? Why don't I do something nice for myself or for others? Why don't I educate myself? Why don't I love people? Why don't I do something positive? Why don't I share goodness and blessings and creativity? All of those things are good things. Yet there's another voice, another energy that wants to get in the way of this. That says, I'll do it later, or I don't feel like it, or yeah, I know I want to be successful, but I'm doing other things. So in today's discussion, it's very important, as we're talking about thoughts and thinking, to recognize the energetic dynamics that are taking place inside us. And just like I heard these thoughts in my head growing up, and we all still hear them, and we want to recognize where they came from. We want to recognize where they're at. So, lay the foundation. There's two energies at loose in the world, influencing the world, externally and internally. I call them the high vibration energy, the low vibration energies. And you can see them in play. One of the teachings of energy awareness training is that we're living in an energetic world, and that everything we're doing is an energetic exchange. And energy is profoundly affecting everything that we do, internally and externally. And these energies contact us, they approach us in our thoughts, in our feelings, in our emotions, and our behaviors. So you notice sometimes you're on track with the things you want to do and you want to be and you want to have, an easy example is somebody who's on a diet or wants to get in shape or wants to start eating right. Well, when you eat the right foods, when you're working out, when you're trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle, you're on track. When you're doing just the opposite, you're not on track. But isn't it interesting that there are times when you shouldn't eat that donut, or that piece of pie, or the sugar candy, or whatever. That's not on your diet, but you do it anyway, right? You should be going to the gym, this week, but you're busy, right? You shouldn't be smoking cigarettes or drinking or any other bad habits that you gave up, But the temptation is to do it again. The thoughts that says, oh, it's okay, you can make an exception. And then you fall into doing the actions or behaviors that you swore you were giving up, that you were making a change. So this is what it means to be energetically aware. It means that there are forces affecting us. And the number one thing that affects us is our thoughts. The thoughts that we have inside our bodies that are constantly appearing. A thought about this, a thought about that. So you can even see people all the time walking down the street talking to themselves, going, or you've had the experience yourself when you criticize yourself and you think, how can I be so, why did I make that mistake? Why did I do that? I'm so stupid. Or you call yourself names, where you listen to you listen to that voice chew you out. Well, I'm here in energy awareness training to educate and really blow the lid off thinking, because it's something that everybody does, but people don't know how it works. So we're going to be talking about that here in this video, and I'm going to hopefully shed some light so that you can use what you're learning here to be happier, to be able to understand what's taking place inside your head, and more importantly, what to do about it. To be able to go from a place of being reactive to stuff that happens to you and being powerless and helpless, into a place of being in control and being proactive at the thoughts that come in. Because as we teach in energy awareness training, it's the thoughts, the concepts, the suggestions, the motivations, the directions in our heads that start to expand into a feeling. See, all energy is constantly expanding. So its energy expands into a feeling, and then if you don't do anything about it, that feeling is going to expand into an emotion, right? And that emotion, if you don't do anything about it, is going to expand into a behavior. So this is primarily the way human beings work: thought, feeling, emotion, behavior, result. And that done over and over again creates the quality of your life, good, bad, or ugly. Well, we want good. So let's use the information for us to have a good life. And that's the purpose of our talk today. So here we have all these thoughts hitting us all the time. And we're constantly thinking. We're thinking about, what are we thinking about? We're thinking about our health. We're thinking about our job. We're thinking about our relationship, whether we have one, make it better, or to get rid of one, or to go find one. Thinking about that, right? We're thinking about our money. We're thinking about what we're going to eat. We're thinking about where we're going on vacation. Just thought. It's just the thought process continues to move. Now, understand that the process, this is a process that takes place, just like your heart beating. Heartbeat, thought, another thought, another thought, another thought. And especially when we move into places of stress or anxiety or worry, that's when the thoughts take control. I'm sure you've had the experience, maybe you get up in the middle of the night, get a drink of water, go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden it's like you start thinking about the worst thing that can happen. Oh my gosh, what if this happens? Oh my gosh, what if that happens? You're like, well, it happened to me all the time. I was the king of anxiety and low vibration energy thinking. Get up in the middle of the night, and it's like, there are goblins waiting to get me. And I'd go back to sleep, and the thoughts would just be pulverizing me with fear and worry. It was like having a horror movie projector in my head that was directed to what am I afraid of? What do I hope doesn't happen? What's going to cause me insecurity? And all the things that aren't handled, or problems that you're dealing with, or situations that haven't resolved, the low vibration energy wants to create a direction in your head so that you'll be worried. So you have worry, so you have doubt, you have fear, you have, oh no, distress, suffering. Now, let me repeat, if you never heard me say this. The purpose of the high vibration energy, the stuff that we want, happiness, joy, peace of mind, feeling in control, feeling purpose, feeling oneness, feeling loved, abundant, prosperous, creative, all that good stuff. That's what the direction of the high vibration energy wants to take us in. It wants us to be happy. It's an energy that's specifically made to help move us out of any low vibration or negative energy and uplift us so that we can be happy, joyous, and free. Basically, the big three: happy, joyous, and free. High vibrational energy, feeling good. The purpose of the low vibration energy is to block that, is to get in the way of the high vibration energy and pull us out of our happiness. So I can say, well, it's summertime and the weather's great and I've got some free time and wow, it's going to be a great day, or tomorrow's going to be a great day, and I'm in high vibrational energy, feeling good, feeling positive, happy, joyful, and free. Well, what does the low vibration energy want to do? Remember, its purpose is to pull us out of high vibration energy and into low vibration energy. Anxiety, fear, worry, doubt, stress, etc. It sends a thought. Yeah, but you know that thing that your thing at work, you heard rumors are laying people off at work, and wow, maybe you could get laid off. You maybe start thinking about it. You might be get laid off, and you won't have a job, and then you won't have money, and then you won't be able to pay your rent or buy food, and you'll be out in the street, and you'll be homeless, and holy smokes. You see how that works? The thought creates a feeling, creates an emotion, creates a reaction, and a behavior. So all of a sudden, I'm not happy, joyous, and free. I've gone from one place of happiness and joy into worry, stress, anxiety, doubt, fear. Now I'm in the grasp of the low vibration energy. And what's the messenger that creates that? Thought. Thoughts create that. Another example, you got a great relationship going, you got a great marriage going. And maybe your spouse has to, work with somebody, or they're developing a friendship with somebody of the opposite sex, or work with something, or something, and the voices go, hey, no, maybe she might fall for that guy. Maybe he's got more than me. Maybe I should be worried. Maybe I could lose my girlfriend or my marriage, and maybe it won't work out. And you see how it goes? It's the thought, the worry, the thought, and so we're identifying the thoughts. The thoughts lead to feelings, lead to emotions, lead to actions. So in energy awareness training, one of the first things I teach you in the courses is to be able to identify energy. Now, my favorite quote is from Nikola Tesla, who says, if you really want to understand the mysteries and the secrets of life, then you'll start to look at things in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And that's the foundation of my work. So what I've done, and what we're discussing here, is we're going to look at thought as energy, frequency, and vibration. And that's what I've done in my work. And everything that we're dealing with in this world is energy. Your energy, I'm energy. The table is energy. The computer is energy. The air is energy. It's all energy. It's all molecules in motion. Some things we can see, some things we can't see. But another energetic law that's very important to utilize in this work is that everything that is seen comes from the unseen. Everything that we're dealing with in the physical world once upon a time was non-physical. So what are thoughts? Unseen, non-physical, right? You can't see a thought. It's like energy. You can't see it, but you can sure feel it. And since we have all these thoughts coming at us every day, what we want to do is recognize, number one, we are not our thoughts, which is another way of saying you can't believe everything you think. Now, if you just get that one lesson from this video, you will move dramatically forward in your own personal growth. Because that was a turning point for me. I believed everything I thought. So if my thoughts told me I was no good, I guess I'm no good. If my thoughts said the kids don't like me, okay, I guess the kids don't like me. You know, if the thought said don't try out for baseball, you know, you're not that good of a hitter. Okay, I guess I better not. So basically I had this voice and this thought running my life, runs my life. Because you're thinking, okay, what should I do about this? What should I do about that? Now, overthinking, it's not overthinking. It's that what the term of overthinking is that you're getting jammed with low vibration energy thoughts. Thoughts. Now, thoughts are energy. Remember I said that? Thoughts are energy. And all energy has a power, a purpose, a direction, a frequency, and it gives off information. This is what it means to be energetically aware. People, places, activities, you name it. Let me turn the light back on here. You name it, it's got energy to it. So the core of energy awareness training is the ability to recognize what energy is it coming from. I have a thought, okay, hey Glenn, it's a great day. You got a lot to be grateful for. You got a lot of love in your heart, and let's go spread some joy and happiness. What's a high vibration energy thought, right? Glenn, you got problems. You got to handle this. You're worried about that. What if this person does this? Maybe you should be worried today. Maybe you should be stressed. Maybe you should anxiety. Okay? That's a low vibration energy thought. Now, the key to moving and mastering this is to be able to recognize that you're not your thoughts, but you have thoughts going through your head multiple times. Every minute, thought. So in my training, what I do with my students is the first thing I tell them is to step back and watch your thoughts. This is one of the first thing I teach, is to recognize you're not your thoughts. And that's a big load off your shoulders, because these thoughts can be cuckoo, especially the low vibration energy thoughts. You know, I was driving across the Golden Gate Bridge one day. I'm from San Francisco, you know, and I'm listening to the voice in my head, and it says, nice day, car's running great. You know, I'm listening to it like somebody's talking in my head. I'm going, yeah. And then the thought says, hey, why don't you drive into the oncoming traffic here and see what happens? What? Drive into the ongoing traffic? That would be suicide. So understand what happened. I have a thought in my head that's one minute telling me it's a nice day and I'm gonna have a great time and all is well. And then the next minute it wants me to do something to hurt myself or to end my life, God forbid. What? That's not my thought. Oh, no. That's not my thought. That's not who I am and what I believe in and what I'm about. That is a foreign entity that's trying to infiltrate my consciousness. And knowing that gives you power and control over the thought processes in your head. A lot of people go, oh, okay, I'll drive in the opposite lane and see what happens. And or so many people hear thoughts of, oh, this happened to you. That means that life's not worth living. Or that means that you're no good. It tries, these low vibration energy or negative thoughts have an agenda. And the agenda is to bring you down, to try to get you out of your happiness and your joy, and to try to lead you in a direction, usually called fear. Get you afraid of something. Because if you're in fear, you can't be happy, joyous, and free. If I'm worried about something, there goes my happiness. There goes my peace of mind. Because I've got fear. Well, what's fear? You may have heard the acronym FEAR, which stands for false evidence appearing as real. And that's what this thought process is. This voice in your head, this narrator of doom, is here with an agenda. It's an agenda to pull you into low vibration energy, fear, anxiety, stress, and suffering. And if you think about the things that we suffer, and most of us human beings have gone through some pretty intense suffering from our childhoods or from our relationships or from our parents or from school or whatever it is, some of us more than others. But we recognize that. And if you think about it, you look back at it now, the biggest tormentor of what you went through was your thinking about it. You're thinking about it. It wasn't the reality of it. It was the thinking about it. I had a girlfriend. Maybe you guys can relate to this. I had a girlfriend. I was in love with her. She was in love with me. We thought we were going to get married. I thought it was the perfect relationship. It was the one I was waiting for my whole life. And I was on top of the world then. I was one of the youngest executives in my company, making great money, great car, great place. I mean, it seems like I had life by the tail. And then things shifted beyond my control. The company got into trouble. We got laid off. The economy changed. A lot of things that I held on as my quote security faded away. But I thought, okay, well, I got my girl and she loves me and we'll get through this. Well, unfortunately, we didn't get through it, and we ended up breaking up, much to my chagrin and regret, months later. And those years of the breakup, man, I took it hard. And as I look back on it now, this reflects exactly what I'm talking to you about. The voices in my head. She doesn't love you. You'll never find love again. You had it and you lost it. Remember that song? Must have been love, but it's over now. It must have been good, but I lost it somehow. Wow, I'm like, I'm singing that song going, ah. But it was the big tormentor? It wasn't her. It was the thoughts in my head trying to spin this to make me feel as bad as possible. That's why breakups are so tough. Because not only are you dealing with thoughts and feelings of loss, but the thought tormentor, the horror movie projectionist in your head wants to spin things so they hurt even more. And I recognized in my work, the greatest thing that we're afraid of are the thoughts and the feelings around things. You know, the things that we're afraid of, or the things that we don't do, or the things that we procrastinate on, it's because there's a thought there that says, oh, that's not going to feel good. Oh, you don't want to do that. Oh, let's put that off for later, you know, like this. And you're like, yeah. But you don't recognize, at least if you're not energetically aware, what's the source of that thought? Whose thoughts are those? That's a great line. Whose thoughts are those? Our thoughts, our energies are a combination of what our parents taught us, what we learned in school, what we learned if you grew up in a religion or a faith tradition, what we watched people do growing up, even back into the womb, even before the womb, even from our ancestors or past lives or wherever. We got a lot of energy and a lot of thoughts flowing through our heads. And the good news is you don't have to be reactive to it anymore. You don't have to be a victim and suffer from thinking. And the first way of dealing with that is to recognize you're not your thoughts. You have thoughts, but they're not yours. They come from a lot of different places. And just like any urgent situation that you have to deal with, you're either proactive, in other words, you're going to do something about it, or you can be responsible, that's what I call responsible, or you're just going to be a victim and just let the thoughts beat you up, as so many people do, as I used to do before I became energetically aware. You're no good. Boom. Oh, okay. You're not worthy. Boom. Oh, yeah, okay. It's not going to work out for you. Boom. Okay. Well, what if you lose everything? Boom. Okay. Well, what if they don't? You just sit there and take it like a punching bag or like a piñata. And that's what happens if you're not energetically aware, because you don't know you're not your thoughts. You don't recognize that there are energetic forces that are influencing you every day. Now, we all want thoughts of happiness, joy, positivity, love, abundance. That's high vibration energy. And yet, so much of the thoughts that we have are low vibration energy brought by this force that wants to, again, pull us out of our happiness and joy and bring us into suffering and despair. So when you see people who are depressed or who are down or negative, they've got a prevailing thought. And all of us act upon our prevailing thoughts. It's the thoughts are the software that run our energy systems. And if you're not aware of that, if you're not aware of thoughts, you're being played. You're being played by these energies. And my work is to educate people and to bring on an awareness that you can control your energies. You don't have to be victimized by them. People who are suffering, horrible, tormenting thoughts or feelings or emotions. Again, remember I told you the energies have a direction. And these thoughts, which are energies, are either going to bring you in one direction or the other. The thoughts are going to uplift you. If you have high vibration energy thoughts, going to lift you up, in gratitude and gratefulness and love and joy and all the good things of happiness, which keeps us in a high vibration energy. Or they're going to infiltrate us inside our heads and try to lead us in the direction of worry, of doubt, of fear. Now, I can hear you say, well, what do you do about that? How can I control my thoughts? Or how can I, this overthinking, how can I stop from overthinking? First off, you recognize that you're energetically aware from this point on, that everything we're dealing with is an energy, and it's either a high vibration or a low vibration energy. And if it's a high vibration energy, it feels good. It takes us in a direction. It takes us up. It takes us out. It's moving. It takes us forward. That's the good energy. The bad energy, or the low vibration energy, wants to make you feel bad, wants to make you fearful, wants to fill you with anxiety. And so it's a matter of feel good or feel bad. Now, that would seem rather simple, wouldn't it? But it's simple, but being simple doesn't mean that it's not working anyway. You can say, oh, positive, negative. Well, yeah, okay. Well, you can simplify it to that. But understand this. You've heard of no doubt, people say, well, think positive. Think positive thoughts. Well, it's better to think a positive thought than a negative thought, but that doesn't really help. Maybe helps a little bit, but if I have a thought here that says, like, for example, with the breakup with the girlfriend, this low vibration energy is so logical and so rational. It's an expert at taking you down. So, for example, the breakup with the girlfriend, okay? Well, you could say, well, just think positive. There's plenty of fish in the sea, right? There's another one coming along. Just think positive. Okay? That's a good thought. But then I got the thought over here that says, do you remember how much you loved her? Do you remember all the good times you had? Do you remember you thought it was going to last forever? Do you remember you were going to propose and buy a ring and now all that's gone? Now where are you? You're alone. You've got no one. You'll never be loved again. Well, which of those two thoughts you think are going to be more effective and more persuasive, right? The think positive one, or the one that details every mistake you made and blows up every low vibration or negative direction that you're going in, right? No contest. It's the same thing with your thinking, with the thoughts that say you're not good enough, you don't fit in, and you never will. Oh, yes I am. I'm gonna fit in. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, I'm worthy. Wasn't there a thing on Saturday Night Live that says, think affirmatively. Life is good. I'm a happy person. It's getting better. And okay, better that than the other. But the other voice that goes, who are you kidding, man? You're just deceiving yourself. You know who you are. You know what your faults are. You know what your fears are. You know what can happen in any minute. It's the tormentor, right? And that's what's going on inside our heads every day. It's the battle for control. And if you don't know there's a battle and you don't know what to do about it, this guy's going to win. The low vibration energy is going to win. And that's why we talk about, the human condition, or why is there so much suffering going on? Or, why are people so unkind to each other? Or why is there division? All these questions, it all comes back to the thought. The thought. I have a thought. All men are created equal. Love each other. Be kind. Encourage each other. Lift each other up. It's a high vibration energy thought. How about the low vibration energy? Oh, they're different. They're of another race or another creed. Oh, they're different than us. Oh, we're better than them. Oh, we gotta put them in their place, or we've got to show them who's boss, or we got to, don't let them in, keep them out, kick them out. Oh, it's low vibration energy thinking. So one creates unity and togetherness, and one causes separation. One causes disruption. One pits one person against another, one people against another. And you can see the results of that. Thought creates a feeling, creates an emotion, creates a behavior. We saw that in Charlottesburg with the demonstrations of the white supremacists and the people who are marching with the torches and the Nazis and all this. That's a thought. There's a thought that says, we're better than you. or you're worse than me, creates separation. So in energy awareness training, what we do is we recognize the characteristics of the energies, and we know where they're headed. You know where it's headed. It's like a signpost. When you can read the energies of a person, place, thing, activity, business, investment, situation, you know whether it's high. If you study energy awareness training, I'm not saying you're going to get this just watching this one video, but if you study energy awareness training, you're going to be aware of the characteristics of the energies, and you're going to be able to know what's going on. You're going to be able to recognize the thoughts that are going through your head. Are they high vibration or are they low vibration? Now, when your natural state is to be high vibration. That's your natural state. To be happy, joyous, and free. That's your natural state. You'll see babies coming into the world, but they're so happy, happy little kids, happy, happy, happy. It's an operating system inside them that says, be happy, love life, love people. That's why we love children. You know, you love holding kids and babies, and it's beautiful. And then they start to grow up, and then they become adolescents and teenagers, and then the worries start. I know that my teenagers years were a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear and a lot of stuff going on at home. I had a lot of stress going on at home. You know, my mom and dad, my house was like a war zone. Every weekend, God knows what's going to happen. But like clockwork, you know, disruptions, fighting, argument, calling the cops, threats. I mean, it's just, oh my gosh. As a child, I witnessed these things. That was a lot of low vibration energy. And as children, we don't know what to do about this. We grow up seeing unpleasant things. We grow up, you know, traumatized from so many different things. We don't know. No one teaches us how to deal with it. I was going through hell growing up in junior high and in high school. I mean, and I couldn't talk to anybody. I was ashamed. I didn't want anybody to know, you know, that I had craziness going on. That my house, because I thought my house was different than everybody was normal, and my house was messed up, you know, with crazies living in there. I didn't know that everybody's dealing with this. We're all dealing with this, and we're all dealing with the thoughts in our head. So it's important here in this video for you. This is your first step, your first lesson. This is what I teach my energy awareness training students. In my level 1 training, we do a lot of talk about thoughts and thinking and how all this stuff works. So what I want you to learn is, first off, you're not your thoughts. You have thoughts, but you're not the thoughts. Okay? Second, I want you to know that you want to be energetically aware of what those thoughts are. Because just because you have a thought that's low vibration energy, you don't have to accept it. You know, I can have a thought that says, oh, the world's a scary place. I better not walk out the front door. Somebody's going to get me. Oh, I don't have to believe that thought. What, are you kidding me? Because I know I'm not the thoughts. And I know every day I'm going to have some whacked out thoughts. I'm going to have some low vibration energy thoughts. Why? Because that's the way the energies work. See, every day we're interacting with these energies. Now, the way it works is the low vibration energies, thoughts, feelings, and emotions approach us, come to us, deliver their goods like Domino's Pizza. Shows up every day. It used to show up for me every morning when I wake up. I'd wake up for about 20 seconds and here comes the negativity. Here comes Glenn, worry about this. What if this happens? Oh my gosh. That doesn't happen anymore. Because when you become energetically trained, you not only can recognize the thoughts, but you learn how to neutralize them. On the next video, I'm going to give you some tools on exactly how to do that. But the first thing you need to do is recognize, hey, wait a minute. These aren't my thoughts. Okay. And you recognize the thought that says you're no good, you're this, what if this happens, you should be afraid of this. It's not my thought. It's not who I am. It's not who I want to be. It's a low vibration energy thought. And the purpose of the low vibration energy is to take me out of my happiness. So the first step is being able to be aware. That's why I call my work energy awareness training. Is to be aware of what's going on in your head. What's going on in your head? Well, two energies, high vibration, low vibration. High vibration energy feels good. Low vibration energy does not feel good. So that's what those thoughts want to do. They want to start taking control. They visit you. Sometimes when you can't sleep at night, you ever had that? You're awake in the middle of the night, and you got 200 thoughts a minute going through your head. I don't know about this. You can't sleep. You know why you can't sleep? Because the thoughts that are low vibration energy, they generate negative chemicals inside us. So it's like, remember I talked about, oh, did I leave the stove on? That kind of, that's a shot of adrenaline, a shot of fear, a lot of, like, oh no. And that little shot of fear wakes you up. It's like you hear a noise. Somebody is somebody downstairs? Look, you hear a creak, a door creaks. Oh, somebody downstairs? And right away, here we go. Here comes the thought process. There could be somebody downstairs. It could be a burglar. They might have a gun. There may be other people. They may be here to kill us. What are we going to do? And your whole energy system goes into panic mode. It's like a firehouse when the fire alarm goes off. Everybody drops what they're doing and they got their clothes on and they're going to get out there and they're running to the fire. That's the fire drill inside you. And you know what? Most of the time there's nobody downstairs. It's a creak or it's nothing. 90% of the time, 95% of the time, it's false evidence appearing as real. And as that goes on, it takes a chunk out of your health. It takes a chunk out of your immune system because worry, fear, doubt, low vibration energy, thoughts create feelings, create emotions. Those feelings and emotions create chemicals. And if it's, follow me on this, if it's a low vibration energy chemical, then it's a low vibration energy direction I'm going in. Right? If I'm in fear, I got fear chemicals, and those are the cortisol, adrenaline. It's here to pump us up, to wake us up that there might be danger. Well, most of the time there isn't danger. So it's just the thought messing with us, and so you get scared. You go, and then you can't get back to sleep, and you don't sleep the rest of the night, and you're groggy all day, and not fun. Whereas when we have high vibration energy thoughts, feelings, and emotions, feelings of love, of safety, of happiness, of intimacy, of blessing, that feels good. And those are positive chemicals that are released inside us that help us to grow and expand in a high vibration energy direction. So do you see, every day we're moving in one direction or the other. And I always teach in my classes, there's always at least two or more things happening. There's what we're dealing with in this dimension, which I call the third dimensional reality. We're dealing with thoughts, dealing with emotions, dealing with behaviors, our own. We've got to deal with other people's thoughts. Can you imagine being around somebody who's worried all the time? I was when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, when is this gonna happen? Oh my, or that guy's, he's no good. He's a bad guy. Well, it's just a constant stream of low vibration energy. What does that create? More low vibration energy. I know some of you guys can relate to this. And the turning point in my life was when I became energetically aware. When all of a sudden, all the questions I have, why does this happen? Why am I thinking that? Why did I want to go here and end up over here? All the questions that we have about the mysteries of life, they can all be solved and understood energetically. And they start in our thought processes. So this is really important here. If you get this lesson here, this is one of the lessons in my course that I wanted to give you. This is the blueprint, the overall understanding of how human beings work and how you can be happy all the time. See, in my work, it's not something, I don't just teach techniques. In fact, I always get a little hesitant to go over stuff because energy awareness training is built upon a principle. It's first you need to understand what energy is. You need it to be able to see it. You be able to want to be able to recognize, the power, the purpose, the frequency, the direction, the information it gives, whether it's high vibration or low vibration. And then you want to develop tools and methods to be able to develop yourself in creating more high vibration energy and start the process which I call EPR, which stands for energetic process and release, to start identifying and dissolving that low vibration energy. And you can start getting results immediately. You start doing this. People start getting results immediately. And to keep this going, it's not something you can do just one day, although you can get results in one day. It's something that you need to train to be able to do, to recognize that. And that's what we're doing. So you're getting trained today, first off, to become aware, energetically aware of the thought processes in your head. We've talked about where they've come from. We talked about how they operate. And we've talked about what to do about them. And for today's lesson is to recognize you're not your thoughts. You have thoughts, but you're not the thoughts. And you don't have to believe everything you think. In fact, you better not believe everything you think, because many of those thoughts are here to lead you into a road of suffering and fear. Who wants that? Not you, not I. But this is the breakthrough of this work. You may have, so many people write me, they go, Glenn, I've never heard anybody teach what you're teaching. Neither have I. That's why I'm teaching it, because I can't find anybody else who has this perspective, and yet it's so important. And this is why I'm exposing these myths of, just think positive, everything's going to be great. Well, you can't think positive if you got a low vibration energy pounding you with negative thoughts. You're just going to be playing, mental tennis. I'm good. No, I'm not good. It's going to work out. No, it's not going to work out. I'm happy. No, I'm not. Ain't gonna happen. It involves understanding the bigger picture, the bigger energetic pictures of how things work. And number one is that we're living in an energetic soup here on planet Earth, and that we're dealing with energies in everything that we're doing. And not to be aware of that, which I wasn't for so long, you make mistakes. You do things that you think are good for you, but they end up not being good for you, or you listen to the thought processes in your head and you wind up in a place where you don't want to be, which we've all been there. Well, energy awareness training puts together the jigsaw puzzle of how everything works. One student wrote to me and said, Glenn, energy awareness training is you could call it the theory of everything, because it explains how everything that we're dealing with in life works. And indeed, isn't everything that we're dealing with in life, whether it's health, money, relationships, peace of mind, spiritual growth, isn't it an energetic exchange? At the bottom level, below the surface, is the energetic reality. And the energetic reality creates all things. It's responsible for all things. And the good news is that the answer for whatever your problem is usually found in the energy. The answer is in the energy. So when you become energetically aware, you're recognizing one, thoughts are energy, two types of energy. One wants to help me, one wants to hurt me. The thoughts going through my head, 50,000 a day, I can't believe them all. because they're not all sourced from me. So when you have, again, this is why I spend a lot of time with my new students drilling them on all the aspects and the descriptions of high vibration energy and low vibration energy, so that you can spot it like that. You can spot it like that. You know, a great example was, you know, in the Middle East, there's a lot of terrorism. And I remember somebody saying there's a part in Israel where there are communities on these mountaintops. And I remember somebody saying to me, you know, the community on that not mountain, I think hilltops is more like it. The people on the hilltop, you know, the terrorists had surprised them and attacked the family and wiped them out on that hill. And yet we have another family on this hill. And I remember them saying, you got those same people came looking for you, didn't they? The terrorists were coming up, and they go, yeah. And I said, and yet you prevailed. You defended yourself, you protected them. I think they shot a couple of the terrorists, etc. And they said, how are you able to survive when these people didn't? And they said, we trained ourselves to recognize the traits and the movements of the terrorists and set traps hundreds of yards away below the hill, so that we knew when they were coming. We knew they were coming way before they got here. And by the time they got here, we were ready for them. It's the same thing with our thinking. Most people are just, the thoughts are coming in and you're just reacting to thoughts every day. And it's stressful reacting to thoughts because thinking in itself is stressful. You think, what am I going to do about this? What am I going to do about that? I don't know. You know, obsessive overthinking takes energy out of you. But when you have a quiet mind, when you're at peace, when you're in high vibration energy, the difference in the thinking is, the high vibration energy is there's a flow, there's a peace of mind, a quiet mind. Some people call it the Buddha mind or the Christ mind. Whatever, it's just like, it's quiet in there. It's peaceful. And that's the energy that you're in. That's high vibrational energy. Whereas if you're in the low vibration energy, you've got yak, what's going on? Oh, worry, doubt, fear, frenetic. Oh, what are we going to do about this? You know, panic, worry, doubt, stress. Which energy? And remember, whatever energy that you're in is going to create more of the same. Whenever you're in high vibration energy, you're feeling good, you're going to feel better. You're in low vibration energy, worry, doubt, stress, anxiety, you're going to get more of that. So, first step is making a decision that you're going to be energetically aware. In fact, if there was one thing I could tell you that could change your life and the direction you're going to and add all the things that you want, if there was one thing, it would be to become energetically aware. It would be to start learning energy awareness training. Start learning how your thoughts work, how your emotions work. Start learning what are these energies that are constantly influencing us that you don't even know. Energies affecting us we don't even know. These energies are like light. There's lights that we can see, and there's lights that we can't see. And whether you can see them or not, they're still having an effect on you. So, I hope this has given you some great input on thinking, overthinking, and how energy works. And I'm going to be doing the second installment of this soon. So if you like this, go ahead at the bottom of it, press like, and go ahead and subscribe, and then you'll get part 2. We'll send it out to you when it becomes available. All right, Glenn Ackerman, Energy Awareness Training. Bye for now.